In The Creative Act, music producer Rick Rubin shares his insights on creativity, explaining that creativity isn't about what you make, but instead a way of being in the world. According to Rubin, whether or not you create something tangible or visible, every person is an artist because our lives are a constant act of self-expression. This shift in perspective will help you access your creative potential. Rubin offers practical suggestions to help you tap into your natural creative instincts and live your life with sustained originality and imagination. His approach encourages you to think differently and experience the world with a whole new level of engagement. The Creative Act isn't just for artists or musicians. It's a guide for anyone looking to live a rich and creative life. Rubin is a music industry executive and producer. Known for his diverse musical expertise, he has made significant contributions to different genres including hip-hop, alternative rock, heavy metal, and country. He started his career in the music industry in 1981, co-founding Def Jam Recordings with entrepreneur Russell Simmons. Rubin's production credits include work with artists such as the Beastie Boys, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Johnny Cash, and Adele, showcasing his ability to cross musical boundaries. In 2007, MTV called Rubin the most important producer of the last 20 years, and in the same year, Time magazine listed Rubin as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. Short-form note: music producers are crucial creative partners in the recording process. They help shape material, arrangements, and performances while managing the project from conception to delivery. Working with artists and engineers, producers blend creative vision with technical expertise to realize an artist's full potential and craft the final sound. In this guide, we'll begin by defining creativity and talking about why it matters. We'll then cover Rubin's advice on how you can be more creative in your daily life, from being more playful to making creativity a habit to seeing inspiration everywhere. We'll also discuss some common barriers to creativity and how to counteract them, as well as the 4 stages of the creative process according to Rubin. Throughout the guide, we'll supplement Rubin's advice with insights and practical tips from other creative thinkers, including Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way, Elizabeth Gilbert, Big Magic, and Cal Newport, Deep Work. What is creativity? According to Rubin, creativity isn't a gift granted to the few, but something that's available to anyone. He argues that every person is an artist because, regardless of whether or not you're making art, you practice creativity through your daily self-expression, the outfits you put together, the relationships you build, the way you feel or move when you listen to a song, the observations you make as you walk down the street. Your experience of the world is unique to your perspective. You're creative just by being. Is creativity innate? While Rubin's view emphasizes the universality of creativity, research suggests a more nuanced picture. Creativity appears to emerge from a complex interplay between genetics and environment. Studies indicate that genes play a significant role in creativity, with certain brain structures and gene clusters linked to increased creative abilities. However, life experiences can greatly affect gene expression, or the process that turns the information in a gene into a function, related to creativity. For example, trauma can alter gene expression, potentially enhancing creativity by increasing emotional sensitivity and divergent thinking. In severe cases, however, trauma may impair creativity through cognitive disruptions. Additionally, if your upbringing encouraged exploration and provided diverse experiences, you're more likely to nurture creative thinking skills. Therefore, while everyone may have creative potential, as Rubin argues, the degree and expression of creativity can vary considerably based on both innate and external factors. Where does creativity come from? Rubin posits that creativity isn't something one simply does, but rather an expression of self. He explains that every person has a connection with a source beyond their everyday selves. This source, as Rubin describes it, is a universal wellspring of creativity and inspiration. It's not an external entity, but rather an innate part of human consciousness that transcends any individual. He argues this source is accessible through introspection, mindfulness, and the cultivation of an open, receptive state of mind. A different view on the source of creativity. While Rubin sees the source of creativity as an innate part of human consciousness, Big Magic author Elizabeth Gilbert portrays creativity as a mystical, almost supernatural force. She describes it as a form of magic that permeates the world around us, waiting to be tapped into by receptive individuals. In Gilbert's view, ideas aren't merely products of human thought, but rather living entities with their own agency. She personifies them as disembodied, energetic life forms that actively seek out human partners. These idea entities have a desire to be made manifest in the world and will look for the right person to bring them into reality. In this paradigm, the artist's role isn't just to generate ideas, but to be open and receptive to the ideas that are seeking them out. Rubin advocates for seeing yourself as a conduit for creativity rather than its source. He argues that this perspective helps overcome common creative barriers like fear of judgment or failure by reducing personal attachment to the work and easing the pressure to produce brilliant ideas. Viewing creativity as flowing through you promotes openness to inspiration and lessens self-criticism. By remaining receptive and allowing ideas to arise naturally, you can more easily enter a productive flow state, free from self-imposed anxieties that often hinder creation. Short-form note: mindfulness can be a helpful tool in reframing your relationship to creativity, quieting your fear of failure, and reducing personal attachment. A regular mindfulness practice fosters non-judgmental awareness, allowing new ideas to emerge and helping you enter a flow state free from self-doubt and fear of failure. If you're new to mindfulness, try a simple breathing exercise. Set aside 5 minutes daily to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Notice the sensation of each inhale and exhale without trying to change anything. When your mind wanders, gently bring your attention back to your breath. This practice can help cultivate present-moment awareness and lay the foundation for more advanced mindfulness techniques. Rubin also introduces the idea of a filter, each person's unique set of experiences, perspectives, tastes, and skills that they use to interpret and shape incoming ideas. The filter is how artists leave their mark on their work. By opening yourself as a vessel to receive creative energy from the source, you can then express your unique self through your personal filter, resulting in authentic and original work. Rubin suggests that finding harmony between being open to universal inspiration and applying your unique perspective is essential for living a meaningful, creative life. He suggests that you cultivate both aspects, opening yourself up fully to receive inspiration and ideas from the source, while also developing your unique perspective and skills to shape those ideas into original works. Short-form note: this concept of an individual filter aligns with Austin Kleon's ideas in Steal Like an Artist. Kleon argues that all creative work is inherently influenced by existing ideas. However, like Rubin, Kleon argues that innovation comes from interpreting these influences through your unique viewpoint. Kleon encourages artists to embrace this process as a form of collaboration with the past, rather than viewing it as mere imitation. By absorbing a multitude of styles, ideas, and expressions, creators can remix these elements through their own experiential filter, resulting in something new and authentic. Why does creativity matter? According to Rubin, creation is our fundamental reason for being. He argues that creativity is an essential aspect of human existence, connecting us to our deepest selves and the world around us. By engaging in creative acts, you not only express your individual self but also contribute to the collective human experience, fostering empathy, understanding, and innovation. Short-form note: while Rubin argues that creativity is central to human existence and fosters empathy and understanding, it's also important to consider the flip side. Not all creative expressions are benign or beneficial. Art can also be a medium for spreading harmful ideas or inciting violence. For instance, during the Nazi regime in Germany, propaganda art was used extensively to promote anti-Semitic ideologies and rally public support for the Holocaust. Posters, films, and broadcasts crafted by skilled artists manipulated public opinion against Jewish people and other minority groups. Thus, while creativity can connect us to our deepest selves and promote understanding, it also has the power to divide and harm when misused. Rubin argues that all creative expression matters. Every creative act, regardless of its nature or magnitude, is a testament to human existence and contributes to our understanding of our shared reality. And Rubin isn't just talking about traditional artistic pursuits like painting or dance. He broadens the definition of creativity to include any act of bringing something new into existence, whether it's a painting, a business idea, or a scientific theory. He explains that every act of creation, no matter the field, helps us recognize that we aren't alone and are part of something larger than ourselves. The economic value of creativity. Creativity is a driver of social cohesion and also a significant economic force. The World Economic Forum's 2023, The Future of Jobs report identifies creativity, innovation, and ideation as key skills for the current and future workforce, reflecting an economy that increasingly values imaginative thinking across all sectors. This emphasis on creativity isn't merely a passing trend but a shift in how economic value is generated and sustained. Creative industries, such as design, media, and technology, are growing at a rate that outpaces many traditional sectors, contributing substantially to GDP in developed economies. Moreover, the application of creative problem-solving in fields like manufacturing, healthcare, and finance is leading to innovative products, services, and processes that drive efficiency and open new markets. As economies continue to transition toward knowledge-based models, the ability to generate novel ideas and translate them into tangible value becomes increasingly critical for sustained growth and resilience in the face of complex global challenges like climate change, public health crises, geopolitical instability, and economic inequality. How can you be more creative? Now that we've discussed the importance and impact of creativity, we'll outline Rubin's advice for living more creatively. He argues that creativity is less about what you produce and more about how you engage with the world. He offers suggestions for how to cultivate a mindset that invites creativity. You must pay attention, be open and playful, and build a creative habit. Pay attention. First, Rubin argues, creativity requires paying attention. He says that being truly aware, both of yourself and your surroundings, can dramatically enhance your ability to create profound and meaningful work. Short-form note. In the digital age, maintaining such awareness faces significant hurdles, primarily due to endless distractions. Our constant companions, smartphones, tablets, and computers, often serve as barriers to the deep, reflective thought necessary for creativity. In Deep Work, Cal Newport argues that to tap into your deepest creative potential, you need to reconsider your relationship with technology, deliberately carving out time and space in your day to disconnect. Rubin encourages you to cultivate a practice of quiet observation, suggesting that noticing the minute details around you can open up new avenues for inspiration. Rubin emphasizes that your awareness should extend beyond the physical world. Also tune into your inner thoughts and feelings without judgment. By doing so, you can tap into a deeper level of intuition and authenticity in your work. Start a mindfulness practice. Rubin's advice on how to pay attention aligns with the core principles of mindfulness, as explained by meditation teachers like John Kabat-Zinn, Wherever You Go, There You Are, and Pema Chodron, When Things Fall Apart. To apply these principles in daily life, consider the following strategies. Practice daily meditation. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes each day for quiet reflection or guided meditation. Engage in mindful breathing. Take brief moments throughout the day to focus on your breath, especially during stressful situations. Cultivate sensory awareness. Regularly pause to notice sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and physical sensations around you. Implement mindful eating. Pay full attention to the experience of eating, savoring each bite without distractions. Perform body scans. Systematically focus on each part of your body to increase bodily awareness and reduce tension. Use mindful movement. Incorporate practices like yoga or Tai Chi, or simply bring full attention to everyday physical activities. Practice active listening. Give your full attention to others during conversations, avoiding mental distractions or planning responses. Be open and playful. According to Rubin, curiosity requires you to be open to multiple possibilities, so he suggests staying open and playful. He explains that as children we are immensely creative, in part because we are more focused on what could be rather than what is. However, as we grow older, we begin to categorize, compare, and edit information in ways that make it easier to process, but also limit our creativity. For example, if a child is given a piece of paper, they might see it not just as a medium for drawing or writing, but perhaps as raw material for making a paper boat or a ticket to an imaginary theme park. They see possibilities beyond the obvious. Short-form note. Being open to multiple possibilities is the definition of divergent thinking, a cognitive process where you generate multiple ideas around a single topic. However, divergent thinking often diminishes with age as convergent thinking takes precedence. Convergent thinking focuses on narrowing down options to find the best solution and is vital for efficient decision-making, but it can restrict creative thought. By consciously practicing divergent thinking, perhaps through brainstorming sessions without immediate judgment or criticism, you can break free from habitual patterns that limit your perception of what's possible. Being open to unexpected possibilities sometimes means you need to ignore the rules. According to Rubin, rules come in many forms. They may be self-imposed, be common practices in your field or artistic medium, or come from external expectations. While Rubin explains that traditional ways of thinking and doing things can be a place to start, you should never be too attached to them. To keep your thinking fresh, he recommends you consistently question why you're doing something, and notice when you're limited by conscious or unconscious rules. Short form. While Rubin emphasizes the importance of ignoring rules to foster creativity, Patricia Stokes, Creativity from Constraints, challenges the conventional wisdom that creativity thrives best in free and open environments. Instead, she argues that constraints, whether external or self-imposed, can actually play a crucial role in stimulating creative thinking. The presence of limitations can lead to innovative solutions and breakthroughs by forcing you to think differently and explore new possibilities. Her work demonstrates how strategically embracing certain constraints can be a powerful tool for enhancing creative output, offering a nuanced counterpoint to the idea of complete creative freedom. When you're trying to think outside the box, cultivate a beginner's mindset, says Rubin. This approach, characterized by openness, humility, and curiosity, encourages you to break out of entrenched ways of thinking and working and see your work with fresh eyes, encouraging you to explore and experiment. By adopting this mindset, you pave the way for innovation. According to Rubin, true creative breakthroughs often stem from the willingness to explore uncharted territory and accept the possibility of failure. The long-term benefits of a beginner's mindset. An added perk of the beginner's mindset, according to Beginner's author Tom Vanderbilt, is that learning new things increases your neuroplasticity and can slow cognitive aging. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural pathways, has been linked to improved cognitive function and resilience against age-related decline. In older adults, activities such as learning a new language, playing a musical instrument, or engaging in physical exercises have been shown to improve memory, executive function, and overall brain health. These findings suggest that maintaining a lifelong habit of learning and tackling new challenges can have long-term benefits for brain health, potentially delaying the onset of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Build a creative habit. Rubin writes that when you pay attention and stay open, you continuously gather information to serve as source material for later creative work. However, in order to do creative work, you must build a creative habit. To support your creativity, he suggests setting up daily or weekly rituals that facilitate your entry into an immersive creative state. He recommends creating a predictable space and time where your mind knows it's time to switch into a creative mode. According to Rubin, these rituals could range from meditating before starting your work to establishing a routine time and place where you can be uninterrupted and focused. Building a creative habit using the artist's way. If you aren't sure where to begin building up a creative habit, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron provides a structured 12-week framework designed to unlock your creativity and help you develop a consistent artistic practice. The book introduces key tools such as morning pages and artist dates to facilitate this process. Morning pages are daily, stream-of-consciousness writings that help clear mental clutter and make way for creative thoughts. They are handwritten and completed first thing in the morning, focusing on whatever comes to mind without worrying about grammar or coherence. Artist dates are weekly solo excursions aimed at nurturing your inner artist. The goal is to engage in activities that spark curiosity and joy in order to refresh your creative well. Each chapter of the program focuses on different aspects of the creative process and provides practical exercises and reflections to help overcome creative blocks and cultivate a sustainable artistic practice. Rubin emphasizes the importance of consistency in these practices. It's not just about setting aside time for creativity when you feel inspired. It's about committing to these periods regularly, regardless of whether inspiration strikes immediately. This dedication helps in building a muscle for creativity, making it easier over time to enter into deep creative work. Short-form note: your habits don't have to be big to be impactful. In Atomic Habits, James Clear advises focusing on the consistency of the habit rather than its scale. By committing to a simple practice regularly, you leverage what he calls the compound effect, where small changes accumulate into significant outcomes over time. This approach not only builds your creative muscle, as Rubin notes, but also embeds deep-seated habits that can sustain your creativity even when motivation is low. Furthermore, Rubin suggests minimizing distractions during these ritual periods. This could mean turning off your phone, using tools that block digital interruptions, or choosing environments where you're less likely to be disturbed. The goal is to protect the sanctity of your creative time as much as possible. Short-form note: research suggests that on average people get distracted every 3 minutes, and then it takes over 23 minutes to refocus on the original task, which means that every distraction costs you additional time that could be spent on your creative work. At times, focusing on your creative work will require you to fully immerse yourself in a project, giving your undivided attention to your project for extended periods and allowing it to consume your thoughts and energy. Rubin argues that when you immerse yourself, you develop a deeper connection with your work, potentially entering a flow state of effortless concentration and peak performance. This intense focus helps you overcome creative blocks and heightens awareness of nuances in your work. However, Rubin acknowledges the need to balance this deep engagement with rest as necessary. 4 strategies to immerse yourself in creative work. In Deep Work, Cal Newport outlines 4 different strategies to integrate periods of focus, what he calls deep work, into your daily life. 1. The monastic philosophy involves scheduling deep work periods free from distractions, eliminating shallow obligations. It suits people who can largely control their schedules and focus on single, large projects for extended durations. 2. The bimodal philosophy involves dividing time into clearly marked chunks, some for deep work and the rest for shallow tasks. It is suitable for those who cannot fully engage in deep work at all times but can periodically dedicate significant blocks of time to it. 3. The rhythmic philosophy is about creating a regular schedule for deep work, making it a habit. It fits best with people who have structured schedules and are looking to integrate consistent, daily periods of deep work. 4. The journalistic philosophy, named because it fits the ability of journalists to switch into deep work whenever they have a free moment, is for those who can move into a state of deep concentration at a moment's notice despite having an unpredictable schedule. Newport emphasizes that these philosophies aren't mutually exclusive and can be combined or adapted depending on one's circumstances, job requirements, and personal preferences. The key takeaway is to find a strategy that allows you to minimize distractions and dedicate time and energy to your creative work. Find inspiration everywhere. Rubin also encourages you to stay open to inspiration, even outside of these structured times, as life itself offers endless fodder for creativity. By paying attention to the world around you, you continually gather information that might serve as source material for later work. You can look for inspiration in nature, in people, and in the art that other people have made. Get outside. Rubin suggests that immersing yourself in nature can stimulate creativity and provide a sense of clarity and inspiration that is often hard to find in urban or indoor environments. He emphasizes that nature acts as a catalyst for creative thinking by offering an escape from the distractions of daily life and fostering a space for reflection and introspection. Short-form note: Attention restoration theory, ART, offers an explanation for how nature boosts creativity. ART suggests that natural environments help restore the mind's ability to focus and think clearly, which often gets depleted in busy urban or indoor settings. When you immerse yourself in nature, you engage with an environment that inherently captures your attention but in an effortless way, allowing your higher cognitive functions to recover and rejuvenate. This mental refresh can lead to increased creativity as it provides the space and clarity you need to generate fresh ideas and perspectives. So next time you need a creative boost, stepping into a natural setting might be just what your brain needs. Rubin offers practical ways you can integrate nature into your creative practice, including taking walks to clear your mind, using natural elements as direct sources of inspiration, or simply opening yourself up to the sensory experiences offered by the environment. Short-form note: by incorporating nature into the creative process as Rubin suggests, you open the gateway to innovative practices like biomimicry, the practice of learning from and mimicking strategies found in nature to solve human design challenges. For example, studying the structure of a lotus leaf has led to the development of water-repellent surfaces, while examining the efficient movement of birds has influenced designs in aviation. Biomimicry bridges biology with technology and design, aiming to create innovations that are sustainable and efficient by emulating nature's time-tested patterns and strategies. Connect with people. Rubin emphasizes the importance of human connection as a source of inspiration. He suggests that engaging with others, whether through conversation, observation, or collaboration, can spark new ideas and perspectives. He encourages you to listen actively to others' stories and experiences, observe human behavior and interactions in various settings, engage in discussions with people from diverse backgrounds, collaborate with other artists or creators to cross-pollinate ideas. For example, if you're a photographer taking pictures of a small town, Rubin would encourage you to spend time in local cafes, attend community events, and strike up conversations with residents. These interactions could lead to intimate portraits and candid moments that tell a richer story of the town's character and its people. The resulting photo series wouldn't only showcase the physical aspects of the town, but also capture its essence through the stories and personalities of its inhabitants. Connecting in a digital world. Rubin's advice can be implemented in a digital context. Virtual platforms allow for listening to others' stories through podcasts, webinars, or online forums. Social media and video calls enable observation of human behavior and interactions. Digital forums and online communities can facilitate discussions with people from diverse backgrounds. Additionally, collaboration tools like shared documents, video conferencing, and digital art platforms make it possible to work with other creators remotely. However, are virtual interactions as impactful as face-to-face ones? Research suggests that in-person communication is linked to a higher quality of life compared to virtual communication. Several factors contribute to this. the absence of non-verbal cues in digital formats, potential online misrepresentation, and distractions from technology during live interactions. While online interactions might be a more convenient source of human connection, they might not provide the same level of emotional satisfaction and social fulfillment as in-person encounters. Therefore, while Rubin's principles can still thrive online, balancing digital and face-to-face interactions may be key to maximizing the depth and quality of inspiration and connection. By connecting with people in these ways, you expose yourself to different viewpoints, emotions, and life experiences that can enrich your creative work and provide authentic material for your art. Rubin believes that these human interactions can lead to unexpected insights and help artists tap into universal themes that resonate with audiences. Short-form note: the concept of the adjacent possible offers a framework for understanding how these connections with people can lead to innovation and artistic breakthroughs. Developed by theoretical biologist Stuart Kaufman, the adjacent possible theory posits that at any moment, there exists a set of potential next steps or innovations that are directly accessible from our current state of knowledge and experience. In the context of art and creativity, this suggests that new ideas often emerge from novel combinations of existing elements rather than from isolated, radical leaps. As you engage with diverse viewpoints and experiences, you continually expand your adjacent possible, opening up new avenues for creativity. Seek out art. Rubin strongly advocates immersing yourself in various forms of art as a means of stimulating your creativity. Rubin suggests that the act of engaging with art, even if it's outside your primary medium, can broaden your creative palette, inspire new techniques or approaches in your own work, challenge your preconceptions about art and creativity, and trigger unexpected connections and ideas. For example, imagine you're a traditional oil painter who attends a contemporary dance performance. You might be inspired by the dancer's use of space, the fluidity of their movements, and the interplay of light and shadow on their bodies, which in turn inspire you to incorporate more dynamic, flowing elements into your paintings and experiment with new ways of depicting motion on canvas. Short-form note: Rubin's idea that engaging with various art forms can enhance creativity isn't only insightful but also historically grounded. Take Leonardo da Vinci, for instance, whose curiosity and engagement in diverse fields, ranging from anatomy to engineering, profoundly influenced his artistic output, leading to anatomically precise drawings that were ahead of his time. Similarly, Steve Jobs' exposure to calligraphy classes inspired him to integrate beautiful typography into Apple's computers, fundamentally changing the aesthetics of technology interfaces. Both figures exemplify how stepping beyond your primary field can lead to transformative ideas that reshape your field. Overcome barriers to creativity. Rubin also points out common thought patterns that discourage and limit creativity, including self-doubt, internal and external expectations, and projects with a predetermined purpose. He gives some advice for overcoming these barriers. Self-doubt. This is one of the most paralyzing challenges creatives face. Rubin highlights how doubting your ability or worthiness to create can stop you before you even start. He advises pushing past these doubts by focusing on the process rather than prejudging the outcome. Remember, every creator experiences doubt. What distinguishes successful creators is their ability to proceed in spite of it. Short-form note: creative doubt isn't a sign of personal failure but rather a consequence of how our brains are wired. This doubt arises from the tension between the executive functions of our brain, responsible for planning and decision-making, and the need for uninhibited, associative thinking that fuels creativity. The prefrontal cortex, which helps us organize and control thoughts, can inadvertently suppress the spontaneous ideas crucial for creativity. Moreover, the fear of negative evaluation taps into our deep-seated aversion to social rejection, intensifying this doubt. By recognizing these psychological underpinnings, you can begin to view creative doubt not as a flaw but as a common and manageable aspect of the creative process. When it comes to artistic skill, Rubin asserts that while mastering certain skills can be beneficial, the essence of creativity often lies in your unique perspective rather than in technical perfection. Embrace where you are in your skill development as part of your unique creative voice. Short-form note: Rubin argues the true measure of creativity often hinges more on a unique perspective than on flawless technical skill. As artists increasingly use artificial intelligence and other technologies in their work, they face new ethical considerations. These tools can amplify personal expression but also blur lines around originality and authenticity. Artists must navigate how to use technology to enhance their creative voice while ensuring it doesn't overpower their individuality. Embracing your current skill level involves discerning whether these digital enhancements serve as mere extensions that facilitate artistic expression or if they risk becoming the dominant force in your creative process. Expectations. Many creators set high expectations for their work, which can lead to disappointment if those expectations aren't met. Rubin suggests releasing any attachment to how your project should turn out, allowing creativity its own direction and flow. Art might evolve in unexpected ways. Being open to where it leads offers freedom from limiting expectations. Rubin notes that trying too hard to control the direction of your work stifles its natural evolution. Creativity is often a discovery process. Part of its magic lies in not knowing exactly what you'll uncover along the way. Rather than restricting possibilities by aiming for a predetermined outcome, let go and allow creativity free rein. Short-form note: while Rubin laments the limitations of expectations, if an artist accepts commissioned work, they often face explicit expectations that are non-negotiable. Therefore, commissions require a balance where creative freedom must coexist within a client's specifications. To help navigate this balance, artists should engage in clear and open communication with their clients from the outset. Establishing a shared understanding of the project's goals, limitations, and the flexibility allowed within those confines is crucial. Regularly update clients with progress and seek feedback to ensure the project remains aligned with their vision. Predetermined purpose. Finally, art often suffocates when it's created with a predetermined purpose. Rubin explains that treating art as a means to an end, whether for fame, money, or acclaim, places undue pressure on both creator and creation. Rubin emphasizes that creating from a place free from such obligations allows for purer expression and often results in more compelling work because it comes from genuine exploration rather than an attempt at fulfilling external goals or metrics. Short-form note: not all artists can afford the luxury of creating solely for artistic expression. While art for art's sake is ideal, practicalities often necessitate a compromise between personal creative impulses and economic needs. As Lisa Congdon discusses in Art Incorporated, the realities of earning a living can compel artists to accept commissions, follow market trends, or produce work that is commercially viable. Thus, Congdon highlights the importance of artists embracing business strategies and exploring various income streams in order to sustain their creative careers. On a similar note, Rubin argues that creating art to convey a predetermined message can unintentionally limit the creative process. By focusing on conveying a specific message from the start, artists might confine their work within rigid boundaries, hindering its natural evolution. Rubin advocates letting themes emerge organically rather than forcing them. This approach allows for more authentic and unpredictable expressions of creativity. He suggests that true artistic messages reveal themselves through the act of creation, leading to more profound and resonant works. For example, imagine you're a novelist who begins writing with a predetermined message about climate change. You find yourself constantly adjusting your characters and plot to fit this theme, often sacrificing authentic development and discarding intriguing ideas that don't directly support your message. Following Rubin's advice, you let go of the predetermined theme and allow the story to develop naturally. Surprisingly, environmental themes still emerge, but in more subtle and nuanced ways. Your resulting novel explores the complex relationships between individuals and their environment through rich character interactions and unexpected plot twists. According to Rubin, this organic approach will lead to a more compelling and thought-provoking narrative than your original, message-driven concept. The role of art in activism. While Rubin emphasizes the organic development of themes in art, it's important to recognize the significant role of intentionally message-driven art, particularly in advocating for social change. Artists who set out with a specific purpose, such as addressing inequality or political unrest, can spark awareness and inspire action. This approach doesn't necessarily confine creativity and can amplify the impact of artwork by resonating deeply with audiences on pressing societal issues. Take Banksy's mural "One Nation Under CCTV", which depicts a child painting this phrase under the surveillance of a police officer and a dog. Strategically placed within view of an actual CCTV camera in London, this artwork directly criticizes the pervasive surveillance culture. By choosing to convey such a specific message through his art, Banksy demonstrates that predetermined themes can coexist with creativity and even enhance its impact by engaging viewers in critical societal discussions. This example shows how targeted artistic expression can powerfully resonate and influence public opinion while fostering dialogue on important issues like privacy rights and surveillance. The creative process. Now that you know how to cultivate the right mindset to encourage creativity, we'll discuss the creative process. According to Rubin, there are 4 stages: gathering, experimenting, crafting, and completing. The broad applications of the creative process. Rubin's 4-stage creative process, gathering, experimenting, crafting, and completing, extends far beyond traditional art. It's a universal framework that you can apply to nearly any field or situation where innovation is required. For instance, in business, gathering might involve collecting market data or brainstorming ideas. Experimenting could be testing these ideas through prototypes or trial runs. Crafting involves refining the product or strategy based on feedback, and completing means finalizing the project and launching it to the market. This approach is echoed in Tom Kelly and Jonathan Lippman's The Art of Innovation, where they reveal how IDEO, a renowned design firm, fosters innovation through a methodology that includes deep user observation, akin to gathering, rapid prototyping, experimenting, iterative refinement, crafting, and implementation, completing. By understanding this process as a broader mechanism for engaging with the world creatively, you unlock potential applications in everyday problem-solving tasks, strategic planning in business settings, or even personal development. Stage 1. Gathering. In the gathering stage, which Rubin calls the seed phase, you collect inspirations, ideas, and materials that will feed into your work. This stage is about being open to everything around you and absorbing influences. It's not yet about making decisions, but about exposure to as wide a range of stimuli as possible. Think of it as laying the groundwork or planting seeds that have the potential to grow in various directions. Short-form note. In the gathering stage, consider using tools like a bullet journal or a commonplace book. These allow you to record ideas and inspiration as they come and to organize them in a way that makes sense for your creative process. By jotting down thoughts, quotes, sketches, and observations, you create a rich resource that you can return to when you move into more focused stages of your work. This practice ensures that the seeds planted during this initial gathering stage are preserved and ready to sprout when needed. Stage 2. Experimentation. Following the collection of ideas comes experimentation. In this phase, you begin playing with the ideas you've gathered, mixing them, matching them, testing out different combinations without concern for coherence or finality. This is a crucial part of discovering what works and what doesn't, often leading to unexpected breakthroughs or new directions for your work. Short-form note. Google famously allows its employees to use 20% of their work time to explore new ideas and experiment, a policy that has led to successful projects like Gmail and AdSense. This approach underscores the importance of setting aside time for unstructured exploration, which can lead to significant breakthroughs and innovations. Stage 3. Crafting. After experimenting with various ideas and identifying promising avenues, you enter the crafting phase. Here, says Rubin, you shift your focus toward refinement and development, taking those rough concepts discovered during experimentation and shaping them into something more coherent and tangible. Attention to detail becomes paramount as you work on honing your project structure, aesthetics, or functionality depending on your medium. Short-form note. Editing your work can be challenging due to the emotional attachment you develop during the creative process. This attachment can cloud your judgment, making it difficult for you to identify and address weaknesses. The advice to kill your darlings, often attributed to William Faulkner, encourages you to critically examine the most beloved elements of your work and be willing to remove them if necessary. Adopting this ruthless objectivity can help you see your work as a cohesive whole rather than a collection of favorite parts. It lets you identify and eliminate weaknesses, repetitions, and inconsistencies that might otherwise remain hidden behind personal preference, ultimately making it more effective. Stage 4. Completing. The final stage is all about bringing your project across the finish line, completing it. This involves final adjustments like editing for clarity or consistency in written works, fine-tuning balance in music, adding last touches in visual arts, and so on to ensure everything aligns with your vision. It's also about recognizing when to stop tweaking, understanding that perfection might be an impossible target and that completion itself is a significant achievement. Do deadlines help or hurt? Deadlines play a complex role when completing projects, offering both benefits and potential drawbacks. Proponents of traditional project management, such as those following the Project Management Institute's guidelines, often argue that deadlines create urgency, boost productivity, help prioritize tasks, and combat procrastination. They suggest that meeting deadlines can provide a sense of accomplishment, motivating further progress. However, critics of rigid deadline structures, including productivity expert Brian Tracy, Eat That Frog, contend that strict deadlines can cause stress and anxiety, potentially hindering creativity and work quality. Tracy and others in this school of thought argue that focusing too much on deadlines may lead to rushed compromises in the final stages of a project. Daniel Pink, author of When, argues the effectiveness of deadlines largely depends on how they're set and managed. Well-planned deadlines can provide structure and motivation, while poorly implemented ones can harm project outcomes. To maximize benefits, many experts recommend that deadlines should be realistic and achievable, flexible when necessary, and balanced with quality considerations. Rubin emphasizes that these stages of the creative process aren't strictly linear. You might find yourself moving back to gather more information after experimenting or returning to experimentation even within the crafting phase as new insights emerge. Everything in the universe, including your creative work, is in a constant state of flux and evolution. Rubin encourages you to accept and embrace the impermanent nature of your work and ideas, highlighting the importance of being adaptable and open to change in the creative process. This perspective suggests that there's always room for refinement and improvement in creative work, and your, and others, understanding and interpretation of your work can change over time, offering new insights. Short-form note: Rubin's perspective on embracing the fluidity and impermanence in the creative process is rooted in the Buddhist concept of impermanence and challenges the Western emphasis on static success and tangible outcomes. Instead of viewing creativity as a linear journey with a fixed endpoint, accepting impermanence allows us to see creativity as a dynamic flow, where ideas evolve and failures become stepping stones. This shift not only enriches the creative endeavor but also aligns with a more holistic understanding of existence, where change is the only constant.